Welcome and thank you for coming out to listen to our presentation. We are FAITH, which is short for Fire Assistance Interface Technical Help. Hi, I'm Mercedes. This is Julia, Brooklyn, Elisa, Bryn, and Ethan. But before we get started, I got a question for y'all. Out of all of you people, can I get a show of hands of those of you who have been affected by the wildfires this past year? Okay, we did a survey targeting local communities such as Dawson Creek, 100 Mile, and McBride. In the survey, we asked how concerned homeowners were about the upcoming fire seasons. As you can see, people are very distressed. This definitely worries people in cities. However, this has a greater effect on smaller communities that have a larger risk at wildfire damage with less measures to protect them.
Our story has a big impact on our product. Last summer, 4 of us were evacuated from our homes for almost 2 full months. We didn't know if our houses were safe. We knew we could lose cattle, forests, and some of us were not able to take our pets with us.
My home was under alert last summer. We packed up our belongings and were ready to leave. 2 years before that, my home burned down in June of 2016. This home was built by my grandparents, and when my grandfather passed away, we bought it to keep it in the family. The first summer we were back at home was the summer we were under alert. It was a scary time, but we were lucky not to remain in our homes.
As you heard, we created this product because we believe it will make a difference for those who have to go through what we went through. The message from the province is now, wildfires are the norm. We need to expect them and be prepared. While we were evacuated, we realized a lot of people were stressed and scared and needed to have more control of the situation and what was happening at their homes. The people who stayed behind resisted the police being present, and they felt like they needed to do everything by themselves. People felt no peace of mind until the fires were under control. More than 45,000 people were evacuated in 2018 BC alone. There were 2,092 wildfires across BC. 1.3 million hectares of land was burned. To give you an idea of what 1 hectare looks like, it's about 2 football fields. Over 2.7 million football fields were burned last summer. We have lots of reason to believe that there will be greater issues surrounding wildfires in our communities. The area burned in BC has been on the rise in recent years, as the yellow bars represent, and are predicted to continue getting worse over the years to come. The map on the right shows the number of wildfires burning across BC in August 2018. This is most of our province. And even now, there are still hot spots from last year's fire, which survived the winter and started burning again.
In response to these wildfires and our experiences, we have created the FAITH Automated Fire Prevention Sprinkler System. Our sprinkler system will use smart home technology. It will be app-enabled for remote control, so as long as you can connect to Wi-Fi, you will have the option to control your sprinkler remotely. If power loss occurs, a firefighter can turn your sprinkler on manually. It can be installed on the side of your home for stability and works on low-pressure water, so communities without major water lines or pumps can still use our service, as well as remote locations that are not under fire protection. This is a mock-up of our sprinkler that we received from KJM Sales Manufacturing Company. The base is an aluminum bracket that would be attached to the side of your home. The round piece is a butterfly sprinkler head from Alibaba. The piece on the bottom is where you can attach an average garden hose. The smart home faucet controller component from Amazon gives access to the app and will be iOS and Android compatible and will be attached to the hose.
When we were looking for competitors, there wasn't many options for buyers in this market. One of the major competitors was Wasp. Wasp is mounted onto gutters, is manually turned on, and is ordered in kits with complete hoses and fittings. When we were doing our survey, we asked how many people had fire protection on their home, and over 60% said they had no fire protection, and over 50% said they'd be interested in our product. From our results, we can expect a high interest rate.
This is our cost breakdown. For the app-enabled pump and a set of 2 sprinklers, we expect this to cost approximately $161. With advertising included, we expect $182 in profit for each unit before specific management expenses such as paying ourselves and living wages and expanding our market with more in-depth surveying and advertising.
For our first year, rather than spending a lot of money on things that we don't really need because our product, we would like to start small with small communities and small quantities and help the people that we really think need it more than anything else. We would just use our basements or garages to store our pieces and use small advertising and just do everything as small and easy as we can. So for our first year advertising, we would spend $12,000 and promotional materials would be $500. Web hosting and design would be $3,500. Bookkeeping and accounting would be $1,800, and other supplies would add up to $14,104. For when we plan to break even, we would like to break even after 12 months. Our selling price per unit would be $375, and we would need to sell 137 units in order to make enough to break even.
First, we plan to stay local and sell door-to-door 140 units by the end of the summer. Manufacturing during September, we can begin manufacturing more units. Fall and winter of 2019, we will set up advertising in our small community via radio stations like CJFW and the Moose, and maintaining our social media presence. Next year during the summer, we aim to sell our product to more surrounding small communities in BC and begin looking for a city center.
We plan to advertise our product through radio because a lot of remote communities tend to rely on radio. Word of mouth because most communities that receive evacuation orders are spread by the word of mouth as well. We also plan on being active on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's all.
Fabulous, thank you guys. So, Val, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, quick comment and very brief follow-up question. First of all, guys, amazing work, and I want to thank, on behalf of Yale, the funding partners that have been getting this curriculum and content into rural British Columbia, because I think this is an idea we would only get from a rural part of this province. I'm really impressed, guys, and this is a huge problem facing us, especially in this province. So I just want to congratulate you for tackling something I think is really timely. My question as a judge is more around, you mentioned it's Wi-Fi enabled. If the internet connectivity piece goes down, it can be manually turned on. Did you explore battery packs or blackout period solutions where you'd have maybe at least a window where if Wi-Fi goes down, it can still be activated off-grid somehow?
We didn't really, but for the most part, when we were talking to our fire chief, he just said that it would be easier just for the firemen to turn it off and on, just because they were there. But I think it would just make more sense to not have one, because, sorry. If we did have one, we would have to sell it along with it, and it just doesn't really make sense for a product.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you.
Paul?
Can you, sorry.
No, Paul first, then over there, and then back
Hi. So I grew up in Prince George, so I totally know what you're talking about. My place was affected by fires actually a couple times when I was younger. So I really want to echo the fact that this is up north and highly appreciate that. I know we're not supposed to give feedback, but I do want to throw that up there. A couple of things came to mind. You talked about a sales target of 140 units. I'd be curious as they're kind of tied together questions, which is how many units would you actually sell per home? Because I can imagine just putting one on the side of a house is going to do enough. So I'd be curious how many homes that means you need to sell as opposed to how many units. And then how much of a difference does it actually make? So I get that you're putting this sprinkler system on there that you can activate, but what, these fires are ablaze and they are super hot. So what does this actually prevent? Like what is the actual effect that will take place is what I'm curious about.
So they would come, the sprinkler heads would come in packs of 2. So there'd be 2 for each household. It's supposed to keep the humidity up on the property so that if fire embers were to come, they wouldn't start a fire that way.
So how many packs would you sell per home, would you say? Like an average house?
1, maybe 2, depending on how big it is.
Manoj, do you have one?
Yes, actually, Paul asked half of my question, but the main question was, has this been tested in an actual fire zone, so you know what amount of water flow you need, what water pressure you need? I don't know a lot about wildfire, like I said, I haven't experienced it, but when I understand the temperature is so high and the winds are so fast, that getting things damp is not enough to save. So my question is, have you talked to any experts or have you tested it actually in the field?
We haven't tested it. When we were first starting our product, we talked to our local fire chief, and he said that the best thing that a homeowner can do is put up sprinklers around their house just to save it, but we haven't tested our own, but there are other products who have, and they're a huge help.
So my original question was answered, but I'm curious and ignorant to the I guess the technology or the science around the range of a sprinkler. So in your model, you're suggesting that each home will probably need 2 sprinklers, but in my head, I'm thinking each room needs a sprinkler. So I wonder if you analyze that. If I were an investor, I'm kind of thinking, well, I think you need more sprinklers, and your business model or your financials are assuming that each household will want 2 sprinklers, right? So, is there? How do you come up with the? I guess the final question is the need only 2 sprinklers, or does your model need to be tweaked in the event more sprinklers per home are needed?
Well, it's an outside sprinkler. I'm not sure if that came across, but it is an outdoor sprinkler. So I think the normal sprinkler radius is 10 to 20 feet. I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely around there. I think 20 feet.
You got me on the fact that it's outside and not inside.
We actually Brenda first, and then we'll go to, we'll start with that.
One question related to sales around a product that's preventing fire. With the fire chief or anybody else, did you discuss what the liability of a sale is and if homeowners are counting on the utility of your product? Liability to the business.
We haven't really looked too much into that, so I don't have a definite answer for you.
Okay.
And Trish, you had a question.
Great presentation again. You mentioned that it's going to cost $375 per unit for the production, but however, when you did the breakdown, I did not see the cost of activating the controller, the remote controller, so that you'll be able to turn on the sprinklers. There have to be some costs associated with that, but I didn't see it in your breakdown.
So the cost for the piece that would be the remote control. You can order it. We would order it off of Amazon, and I think it was around $126 a piece for each remote control piece that we would sell.
And there's no programming that would be needed.
Not that I know of, no.
Great. Colin, you had one?
It's working. There we go. Love the presentation. Just have to say, there's a storytelling aspect and your purpose and your why that's wrapped around that. It was really compelling and it really resonated. So you did a great job of that. And like why you want to do this. It's fantastic. What I wanted to ask was really about partnerships and the opportunities. We talk about pain points and what are you solving? Obviously, with a house burning down is a massive pain point. That loss, but also for insurance companies, obviously a pain point of the payout on that. In order to scale this, I can see the real opportunity of kind of hooking your wagon to an insurance company. Have you spoken to any insurance companies to see if they would be interested to partner with you and promote this? Because I would think that they'd be able to reduce their premiums and also their payouts there by someone then buying this for $375 a pop. So have you looked at that at all?
We never actually talked to any insurance companies, but our main competitor, Wasp, they are partnered with insurance companies, so I can see how it would be something to look into in the future.
Chris, did you have something you want to say?
That exact question. Nice work.
Okay, so we're stealing each other's questions now. Does anyone have a final one? Sure.
You made reference to this competitor, Wasp. Can you clarify again how exactly you're different than what because I'm looking at them, it seems like they're similarly connect thing to roof with garden hose. What's your differentiator from Wasp again?
Our main difference is we have the smart home components, whereas theirs is only manually turned on. And they sell different hoses with theirs, and ours would just be whatever garden hose you have at your home.
Actually, I have time for one more question. Jerry.
My thanks as well for actually tackling our bill. Congratulations to you on that. $375 is a pretty big bill for a lot of rural households. I noticed that you had a pretty hefty profit margin built in there as well, and that allows you to get to break even after just 140 units. Have you given some thought to whether $375 is actually necessary, or could you sell this product at a lesser price?
When we first started developing the product, we had a smaller selling price, but it had us operating in debt for a long time. So by raising it, we just broke even faster. And our mentor advised us to go higher.
I love that we're ending on a very honest note. Thank you so